Let's kick off the show with the Premier League. A look back at last week, Johnny Clayton going top of the Premier League, winning his third title of the season, beating Michael van Gerwen 6-5 in the final in Aberdeen to replace MVG at the top of the table. And that brings us on to our question of the week. Who do you think is going to finish top of the Premier League?
Ooh, it's as tight of a race as I can remember now with 5 nights to go. And I don't want to say it's a two-way race because all it's going to take is Clayton and Van Gerwen losing in the quarterfinals one night and either Wright or Wade winning the night, and suddenly it becomes a three-way race. But you expect that both Clayton and Van Gerwen will win at least one more night themselves, the way they've been playing to date. They've each won 3. The rest of the field combined has won 5 up to now. And beyond that, they're just playing at the highest standard and most consistent standard, especially Clayton. Van Gerwen's been a little inconsistent, but not to the same level that he's been inconsistent over the last couple of years. But they've been playing, by and large, the best darts and the most consistent darts of anyone in the field. And there's no reason for us to think that's going to slow down anytime soon. I mean, Van Gerwen, beyond his 3 titles, has been to the final 5 of the last 8 nights. Clayton has been to the semifinals at least 5 nights in a row. Nobody else has done that so far this Premier League campaign. So even if they're not winning titles, they're still getting points. And for Wright and Wade, that leaves a lot of work to do. Wright's been really hit and miss since becoming world number 1 almost 2 months ago. And Wade's been, well, since Mac's been on and said that, look out for Wade, Wade has lifted his game. But it's a lot of ground still to make up. I think it's either going to be Clayton or Van Gerwen. As between the two, I guess I have to tip someone. That's the point of this question. But I just don't know. I'm going to go Van Gerwen to top the table. I think his experience and particularly his performances when he plays anyone other than Johnny Clayton are going to get him over the line. I think he's going to win maybe 2 more nights and Clayton's just going to win the 1, and he'll nip Clayton by a point or 2. So I'll go for the big green machine to top the table. But it looks like and should be a 2-way race from here. And as I say often on the show, I'm prepared and ready to be wrong.
I think it is a 2-horse race, and looking at how our poll's going at the moment on Twitter, it is open for the rest of the week, so do get involved in that. But at the moment, 57% going with Johnny Clayton on that, 56.5%, 39.7% going with Michael van Gerwen, and yeah, pretty much everyone thinking it's a 2-horse race. We've got 3.8% going with other, and we'll read out a couple of messages from our listeners who've replied to the poll as well. Eve Marie Coquette saying, I can't imagine someone else other than MVG or Clayton on the top of the league after Newcastle's night. They've been so dominant since it has started, but we never know. Deborah Flowers saying the Welsh has got this, the fairest year to shine again. And we look at the table now with 5 nights to go of the regular season, and there are gaps opening up, but the race for the top spot, that is one of the most interesting elements of this Premier League now. Johnny Clayton on 26 points, Michael van Gerwen 25 points, 1 point between them. They've both won 3 nights of this season so far. They're the only 2 players that have won more than 1 night this season, so that kind of tells you these 2 have been more often than not the 2 best players so far. And yeah, it's pretty tight so far. You look back to last week and how well Johnny Clayton played, the 6-5 win against Peter Wright. He pulled out that 180 in the decider when the leg was pretty close. And then the final against Michael van Gerwen, MVG goes 5-4 up, kicks off the leg with a 180, a 140, leaves 181 after 6 darts, misses the ball for a 12 darter. Johnny Clayton, 84 in 2 darts, just the 11 darter to break to get a throw for the decider, holds in 15. And that's what we were seeing a lot of from Johnny Clayton last year, and what a year it was, 2021. He won the Weekly Darts Cast Player of the Year among other titles as well, but he had such a good year. And to come into this year, how was he going to top that this year? Well, if he could finish top of the Premier League, that's something that he didn't do last year. That would certainly be an accolade to add to his collection. And it does feel like he is getting back into some good form at the moment. And, you know, to win those tight games, to produce the goods when he needs it, when he puts the finish in, the scoring together, he does prove why he is one of the best players in the world. He's in the top 8, top 9 in the world at the moment. But you'd say, based on form, based on what he's done recently, he is one of the top 3 or 4 players in the world. So he's put himself top. I think it is going to be a tight run in it, as we know, with this Premier League, with the points that are on offer. I think it could come all the way down to that final night. They've got a pretty similar running for the next 4 nights. I think they're going to be playing the same opponent 3 of the 4 nights over those next 4 nights. And then other than that, you've got Johnny Clayton playing Gerwyn Price, Michael Van Gerwen playing Joe Cullen. So it's pretty close as far as who they're going to be playing for the next few nights. But I think it will come down to semi-finals to finals. If they play each other in a final again, the head-to-head is 2-2 at the moment. Johnny's had his number the last two nights, 2-6-5 wins. I think it goes all the way down to that final night. And hopefully we'll see those two in the final on that final night. And that will determine the top spot. We'll have something exciting to finish off the regular season. But if I'm going to go with someone, you went with MVG, I'll go the other way. I'll go Johnny Clayton to finish top.